Men of Reddit, what's the hardest thing to explain to women? When we say we need time or space, that's exactly what we need. It's not code for, you need to try harder. Had an ex who would keep pushing me to talk when I got angry about something. I just wanted some time to cool off before having a discussion about it. One of the reasons she's an ex. My wife now is fantastic. We understand each other, and when it's best to just shut up and let things settle. More often than not, we realize the reason for getting grumpy in the first place is trivial and we get over it. When you ask me how my day was or what I did today, nothing in my day usually stands out as special, so I just don't remember. I usually don't remember what I do. I just live. I'm seriously not checking you out every time you walk by in the office. I turn my head for near everything that enters my periphery. You're really not that special. This makes me so self-conscious in the gym. Every time someone walks past I look, especially in the mirrors, and I always catch the eye of a girl probably thinking I'm checking her out. I really don't want to be seen as that creepy guy making girls at the gym uncomfortable. It's literally the last thing I'm thinking about. I wonder how many girls thought I was checking them out on the basis that if I'm sitting down in public I'm generally scanning every direction possible with only moving my head. Too clean for the hamper, too dirty for the drawer. That's why I put my cargo shorts on the floor. I have a spot in the closet hidden from my wonderful but short wife where pants go for further use. I don't always want to be the one that initiates. It makes me feel like a creep. It doesn't necessarily make me feel like a creep, but it makes me think the girl doesn't actually want most of the time. When a girl does ask for or initiates it in her own way, it makes it so much more fun for me and takes out a lot of the anxiety and stress that sometimes surrounds in a relationship, because it really does feel like a two-sided give and receive situation. I've tried so hard to explain this to my GF and previous girlfriends before. It's really hard to vocalize. They think I'm not interested since I don't want to initiate all the time, and that's really not the case. The specifics of nod code. It's easy to say, up if you know them, down if you don't, but the exact meaning of the downward nod is hard to translate. It's seeing them, acknowledging them, and saying that neither of us have any issue with each other. Nod up is like a question, what's up, how's it going? A nod down is like a statement, I acknowledge you. That sometimes we need personal space and it has nothing to do with our opinion of you. Definitely. When I first moved in with this girl, she wasn't working and I was. So, every day I would be up at 8 a.m. to go to work, and then back late on an evening to find her brother, her friends, all sitting around the living room and all wanting to talk to me. Like, saw it off. I just got in from work, can I have 5 minutes alone to just reset myself? Alone time is great and everyone should have at least 30 minutes of it daily. But the reason I shake the gas pump the amount of time I do after I finish pumping gas is the same reason I shake my eye after I pee. It's just good sense. Sometimes the struggle not to share emotions isn't as much the worry of backlash from society or friends, etc. It's more just a conflict within ourselves to verbalize and come out with it. I trust my friends with respecting how I feel. I just can't get it out because I'm fighting myself. Edit. I'm glad this has helped some people focus a general feeling into a somewhat coherent thought. I hope someday we all can climb out of this better people. Well, sometimes I want to express my feelings and the maximum thing I can get out of it is 2 sentences. Why I don't know what my best friend is up to in life even after hanging out with him all day. Why my husband bothers telling me information about our friends is the world's greatest mystery. Corey's moving apparently. Oh, where to? IDK, but like, moving out of the city. Did he get a job somewhere? When's he leaving? IDK, he just said he's moving. This is oddly specific to my situation. My name is Corey, and I am moving soon. Lol. P at an angle. Or the vaunted split stream. I had like 8 streams at once. Edit 1. This is my most liked comment and it's about, of course. Edit 2. Thank you for the first time gold. When we say we don't care, we really don't care. Yes, we can have an opinion on something, but when we say we don't care, that means our opinion isn't strong enough to sway us either way on something. I learned to say, I don't have a preference. That always seems to come across better. When I say, I don't have a preference, my girlfriend tends to take it as me saying I don't like either option, and she'll scrap the plans entirely. I actually mean both options sound fine or even good, but I truly don't have a preference between them. Sometimes an erection just happens. We don't control the thing. It's a physical response that could literally be from nothing. I accidentally walked into a door the other day and I got rock hard kinky. I really want to see if we'll get along well enough to date, but I'm horrible at maintaining a conversation without being too safe or too out there. Edit. Award speech edit type beat. I'm just horrible at maintaining conversations at all. We appreciate women making the first move. Making the first move feels like stepping on eggshells. How much compliments mean to us. It's a different type of happy when a guy gets complimented. I got like 3 real compliments from people that I take at least a little seriously. Oh, and speaking of compliments, I like your name. Edit. 4 compliments. Edit. 2 to 5. Holy moly. Happiness noise. Sometimes we could use a hug, or at least a high five. We're still a human, so that's mean we have feelings too, so please take care when choosing your words when you're arguing with us. My ex would say horrible things when fighting, then wonder why I was not in the mood for a few days afterwards. Seriously, I have learned to hate teachers that would teach the sticks and stones rhyme, because the truth is, stick and stones can break bones and harsh words will destroy your self-esteem for years, requiring mental counseling, and even then you might never heal. The stick and stones thing works when a 7-year-old calls you a poopy head poop face. Not when your spouse says the day I regret most is the day I met you. Also, you're fat. Men can sit for hours talking and talk about nothing, and it is really okay to interrupt us from talking for hours about things that we seem to understand, but really have no freaking clue whatsoever. We will likely to pick it up again next weekend and continue our discussion. I had a friend I hadn't talked to in years and somehow continued a discussion from back then. 1. That I am simply not clairvoyant. You need to tell me what it is you really want. 2. If you're disappointed in something, say so. I can take it, as long as it's not number 1. 3. This dilemma. If I ask you, what's wrong? And you say, nothing. Am I supposed to believe you or call you a liar? I made a pact with my wife. I will ask once if everything is fine. If she says yes, I will treat her as if everything is fine. If she says no, we can talk about it if she wants. This happened because she screamed at me that I didn't care about her problems. At the time, I asked her if she was fine. She said yes. I said, okay, wanted to the brewery nearby, and apparently nothing was okay. The fact that we can ride in a car with another man for 5 hours and not say a word drives my wife crazy. I drove 400 miles with my father to go see my sister, and most of our conversation topics were about when we will stop and eat something and how good our meals were. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. That emotional state of meh, you're not great, you're not terrible, just meh. Nothing is really wrong, you're just not really feeling it. For some reason, some folks interpret this as pissed off. They then continue to ask, why are you so mad? Despite you answering against this, they keep asking until you really get annoyed and angry. Sometimes I'm just horny, but sometimes I look at you and I'm just in love that I want to be as close and intimate with you as I can, which is, my ex and I had different love languages, and she would worry that I don't love her as much as she loves me, which was just crazy because I was head over heels for her at all times. Trying to explain that really close lovey was one of the ways I showed her exactly how deeply I was in love with her, but she didn't get it. I'm a girl, but this is me with my boyfriend. However, he knows I love him as much as he loves me, but his love language is acts of service and quality time. So while I would prefer to put a movie on to cuddle and then gradually lead to, he would rather talk about something he learned or just be in the same room on opposite couches, with periodic hugs. We make it work by doing both. Lol. That just because I'm quiet in your presence doesn't mean I'm upset. Just means I'm either tired, don't have anything to say, or I'm thinking about something. Yay dude, I feel this one. My default state is sitting quietly. My roommate, however, feels the need to fill every silence she encounters with words. I think that she interprets my quietness as me not wanting to talk to her, when in reality I just have nothing to say at the moment. I have to constantly explain to my wife why my 2-year-old son is obsessed with his. I have to explain why he always wants to touch it and grab it when his diaper is off. She will never understand why our baby and his father share this habit. Edit. It seems I should have worded this a little differently. Oh, this made me laugh. I'm a mom and a grandmother, and boys are obsessed with ensuring A, that there is still there, B, amazed at how far they can stretch it, C, why does it get hard like that? I love my, look at my, best toy ever. So eventually you have to tell them it is okay to love your and touch it and admire it, but you really cannot play with it so much out in public. Other people think it's weird, but they still do. I guess they learn that guy tricks to adjustment. Eventually, both my sons were horrified for me when they realized I didn't have a. It was amusing. An itch on my is way worse than an itch anywhere else. An itching on a children's playground is one of life's worst pranks. Delete this, nephew. That just because I'm a guy doesn't mean I don't care. I've had women talk to me about guys losing their hair. He's a guy, so he doesn't care. I know a lot of guys who hate being bald or the fact that they are balding and their hair is thinning and hairline is receding. This idea that we don't care about our looks because we're a guy is ridiculous. I really hate how much hair I've lost. I mean, daily, multiple times a day. Same man. It started receding and then seemed to halt for a few years, so I never thought about it. But lately it seems to be getting worse each time I look in the mirror. As much as we're seen as crazed pigs, we talk so little about women when we get together for drinks, or something like that. And when we do, the topic doesn't last long. Literally can't even remember when was the last time me and my best bud talked about women. We're both single too. Just usually talking about our old friends from school and what they're doing, cars, our jobs, sport, or politics occasionally. The feeling of getting kicked in the nuts or straight up right in the shaft that immobilizes you, and leaves you in fetal position with the feeling of needing to throw up while at the same time having sharp radiating pain from through your neck. Edit. Guess I can kind of explain it. Also, it's a delayed reaction. You only start to feel real pain in about 5 seconds. I have about 5 seconds to get somewhere comfortable and ride this out. Why we bottle our emotions up. My wife and I lost a dog in our second year of marriage. He was sick for a month and she was crying softly about it on a daily basis. I was extremely sad, but never cried. Then when they took him away at the vet's office, I cried loudly and uncontrollably for what felt like an hour, and just couldn't calm myself down. In the car she said, "You know, if you didn't bottle it up and let it out a little at a time, you wouldn't get like that." What she didn't understand at that moment is that for a lot of men, we don't have that middle ground of crying. It's either nothing or everything. A lot of us never learned how to cry in a semi-controlled manner because we never saw a man do that when we were young. I'm 40 years old and I've never seen my father cry. Not at any of our weddings, not at his parents' funerals, nothing. In other words, I've never had that subconscious model of how a man is supposed to cry, and don't have any practice at it. When I try to make myself cry, I can't. Whereas my wife can watch any commercial with sick animals, cry quietly for 5 seconds and then be done with it.